Today I'm going to walk you through the process of how we installed our basketball hoop for the kids to show you the steps to do it yourself if you need a hoop for your family. We're installing it into concrete so it's nice and solid, and I'm using a sleeve so the hoop can be moved if we ever need it to. The process is fairly similar for different brands of hoops. Ours happens to be a Lifetime brand hoop with a 54-inch backboard. Oh baby! Woo! Alright, I found the center of this part of our driveway, and then they say that the pole is supposed to be about 4 inches from your surface, your playing surface, so we'll go about right here. I started by digging the hole, and to make it easier, I first used a post-hole auger to help break up the soil, but a shovel and a little more effort works just fine too. Alright, so then just dig the rest of this out. It's about 21 inches. I basically followed the instructions as best I could, and they said to do a 24-inch deep and 21-inch diameter width hole for this hoop. I'm 41 years old and pull muscles, and I tweak my back more than I used to, but it's going to be worth all the hard work to have it up for the kids, and I'm sure it will be for your family as well. Once I got a little deeper down, a hand post hole digger worked pretty well to get out the dirt and break up some of the rocks and clay. Okay, let's check this. We are about 20 inches deep. Gotta go a ways more. This little battery-powered Ego auger is really handy and it works awesome for fence posts, but as I've found, it also comes in handy for all sorts of random projects. It's pretty slick. Then I'm just clearing out a little more dirt before measuring it again. So we got 21 inches in diameter. And just shy of 2 feet. Okay, I am close to about 24 inches. I'm actually going to fill with a little bit of gravel at the bottom. The directions don't say anything about using gravel. I'm just using a little bit to help level the bottom of the hole so I can adjust the bricks easier. We're just going to build this up. The bricks are used to build up to the height for where the sleeve is going to sit, so it has something solid to sit on at a height that will make it about flush with the top of the concrete once it's poured. Definitely need a little more height still. The sleeve is about 16 inches long. I used the Lifetime model 0023 sleeve. So that's close. It took me a little trial and error to get the sleeve at the perfect height so the top of it is even or slightly above the concrete once that's poured, and readjusting the bricks and adjusting the gravel underneath it a couple times helped dial things in. Okay, let's do this. Honestly, that looks pretty good. Alright, so this is 16 inches. We want this to be even with the concrete or maybe just a titch higher. This side is supposed to face toward the back. We'll put the pole in with the slots toward the top. I guess that basically just goes all the way to the bottom, and then it just slides in and out. And I think, yeah, it's almost locked right now, so that's all right. And then we take this little piece here. This kind of helps lock it in even more. Put that down there. And I'm just going to do that right now. I want to keep that above the concrete pour, and we'll plumb it up more. But that looks pretty good. Okay, we got the hose hooked up. I got electricity. We're going to use a mixer. You could obviously use a wheelbarrow and a hoe, but since I have this, I'm just going to do it. Got my concrete, so let's go ahead and get going. Just gonna do this over on the grass, so if I make a mess, it's not a big deal. I'll throw on a respirator. They say it takes about 9 of the 80-pound bags of concrete, and I ended up using 8.5 bags.
I mix the concrete to about a medium thick oatmeal consistency, basically just not too runny and not too thick. The 80-pound bags of concrete are pretty awkward to lift, especially after lifting more than a few, so breaking them in half is something that I like to do. I tried to get the mixer as close to the hole as I could, so it could be tilted down and just go in. I've mixed plenty of concrete in plastic tubs and in wheelbarrows as well, and that's going to work if you don't have a mixer. They call for the front of the pipe to be 4 inches from the playing surface, so you can see it's closer to the asphalt driveway and to the front of the hole. I mixed up a few more batches, doing about 1.5 to 2 bags at a time to keep filling the hole. Some of the mixture toward the back of the machine on this batch was a little bit dry, so I mixed it in with my hand and added a small amount of water to get it to a better consistency. And then if you want a nice square around your pole, you can just use some 2x4s as forms, and then I have it sloped slightly toward the back so that water will drain. And then we'll also do kind of a raised area around here so that water doesn't go into the pole. Now this isn't necessary, but I do have a decent slope where this hole is, so it helps keep the concrete at a level height, and I think it looks pretty good. You'd usually want to secure the form to stakes, but since it's so small, I'm just adjusting and leveling it as it fills up. And then I'm continuing to mix more concrete and fill it up until the concrete is even with the top of the form. Stick a ruler or a shim through the slot in the top so you can double check that the slot is parallel with your playing surface. This way your backboard is going to be facing where you want it to. And no matter what type of concrete project you're doing, always clean out the mixer and rinse off your tools as soon as you're done. So we're just gonna tidy this up here. Here I'm using some of the excess concrete to fill low spots, and I'm using a magnesium float to bring some of the cement or the cream up to the surface. Most folks are going to fill the hole and don't really care about a form or a squared off top, so if you simply want to fill the hole and call it good, that works too. And then we'll clean up the area a bit, level the forms again, and smooth out the concrete. Throughout the project, check that the pole is plumb in each direction. This is really important to do at least a few times after the concrete has been poured and before it's cured. Otherwise, you're going to have a crooked basketball hoop, which would be a huge bummer. I went out again after a couple hours to check that the pole was still plumb, again checking left to right and then front to back, and everything was still looking good from when I slightly adjusted it earlier.
You'll go like this, maybe like right here.
Then the family came out and all 4 of us did handprints in the concrete, and I wrote names and the year.
Alright, let's check it left to right. Looks good. Looks good.
After the kids were asleep, I started assembling the hoop, and it's not hard, but it will take a few hours to do. The manufacturers all have very detailed video tutorials on putting each model together, so I'm not going to go into detail on the hoop assembly. We're mainly focusing on the in-ground setup with the concrete, the pole, and then putting the hoop in place. The exact hoop model we have is 90962, but many of the Lifetime brand hoops go together similar to this one. We ordered it online, and I'll have a link to it in the description if you're looking for a hoop like it. The next morning, I went out to check my work.
Okay, hopefully this thing's still plumb because it's not moving. Looks good. Looks good.
The concrete had set enough that I could take off the forms, but you will need to wait at least 72 hours after pouring before putting the hoop in place.
Okay, we'll pry off these forms. Never push against the concrete, always go against wood.
Here's what it looked like fresh out of the forms after about 24 hours. And the concrete is sloped slightly downward so water drains away. And I'll use some topsoil along the sides of it to make it look good and eventually plant some grass. The next evening, I finished putting the hoop together and connected the middle pole to the backboard. The arms and lever are tricky to do without a second set of hands, so my wife came down to the garage to help with those steps. Our hoop came with a ball, and we pumped it up so we'd be ready to play. After waiting a couple more days, the concrete was ready to have the rest of the hoop installed on it. With the lower pole already in place, it was tricky to try and get the hoop up high enough, so we decided to set the hoop in the pickup bed so we'd have a safe platform with enough height to more easily connect the poles together from. I lifted the hoop while Britt stabilized the pole and lined up the slots in the pole so it was oriented correctly. I put a screw through the slot and then used a wood block and a mallet to set the poles and lock them together. Next, put the set screw into the back side of the pole and put the plastic dome cap over the top of the post. Go ahead and give the sleeve bolt a couple turns if you need to. Now that it was done, we surprised our son with a hoop for his 4th birthday when he got home from swim lessons, and we all tried it out for the first time.
What is that? A basketball hoop. Go try and make a basket.
We've been having a ton of fun with the new hoop, and with the lowest height at 7.5 feet, it's still a little bit high for Jack, but he'll grow into it soon, and I know it's going to get a lot of use over the years. I came from a hockey family, so I'm terrible at basketball, and I can barely dunk on a short hoop, but my wife came from a basketball family. She's good at it, and we wanted the kids to get to play both. The finished install is going to work real well for our family. The base is super solid, and it's going to hold up to all the wind and our family playing hoops, and I definitely like the lever system with the gas spring that makes it easy to raise and lower the hoop. Here's a look at some shots. You can see the backboard. It's going to shake a little bit when the ball hits it, but nothing out of the ordinary in my experience on a basic outdoor hoop. To complete the project, Jack and I got a couple shovels and put some topsoil around the concrete base, and then we're going to plant some grass eventually to give everything a finished look. Hopefully this gives you an idea of the process of setting up an in-ground hoop for your family and a little inspiration to tackle the project. Please subscribe, give the video a like if you found it helpful. Cheers, and good luck with all your upcoming projects.
From downtown. Oh, man. From downtown. Downtown. Woo!
Oh, I didn't get that one.
Are you serious?